I'm lost in you.
I am in a car today that we're astounded by, simply for the fact that it's a very prestige brand, and they've decided to give you less car for your money. And when I say less car, I mean it's lighter than your average American. The car has actually shed £241 worth of additional weight, making it super light and super agile. It's also got no rear seats anymore, which, going from a 4-seater touring sports car to a 2-seater car, means you even get to carry less passengers. But you do get to carry more luggage because they've replaced where the seats used to be with a shelf. So you've got more shelf for your money, but still less car. There's less metal in it, less aluminium, and an awful lot more carbon fibre, which again helps with that the less weight. Where you do get more is you get 20-inch special bespoke wheels for the car that are lighter than ever. You also get 18-inch ceramic race brakes as standard, so you are getting more there for your money. But where you do get a lot more than just car for your money is what they've done to the engine, the gearbox, and the overall handling and performance of the car. That means that instead of doing 0 to 60 in a leisurely 4.8 seconds, this car now does 0 to 100 in 8.9 seconds and 0 to 60 in 3.7, which is hypercar fast. Hence why none of our tracking cars will keep up with it, and you're watching me from the shelf in the back. Feels so good. It is astounding performance. And that's where we're genuinely astounded. This is, and I take this pleasure in formally introducing you to, the new Bentley Continental GT Supersports, which is even faster than the GT Speed. They have massively upgraded the 6-litre W12 engine, so it's now got 621 brake horsepower. And that's a lot of horses. But then, with an engine bay as big as this one, you can fit a whole herd of horses in it. It is supreme performance. It is the most powerful Bentley ever made. It's the most agile Bentley ever made, and it's the lightest Bentley ever made. It is also one of the most beautiful Bentleys ever made. They've decided to differentiate this car from the Speed and from the normal GT by massively changing the overall look of the car. It's wider, it's lower, it has totally different front and rear bumpers, a different grille, it has a different bonnet, it's got different wings at the back. The lights are darker and more race-like. All of the outside chrome is now no longer chrome, but in fact smoked steel, which is just such a beautiful definition. And a porn star's name. It's smoked steel. It's fantastic. I love it. I love this car inside and out. And when they were busy ripping out the rear seats, they decided to do away with the front seats as well, which is again where you get less car for your money, because no longer do we have electric seats. Yes, this is probably the first Bentley ever to have manual seats. And there's only 2 levers. These don't adjust other than up and down, and backwards and forwards. That's it. They are super light, super thin, and it has to be said on long journeys, super uncomfortable, to the point of crippling. But there are certain prices you pay, and unfortunately, that's one of them. And it is a price that is definitely worth paying, because losing all that weight makes this car ridiculously fast, and it makes it go round corners ridiculously fast. Bends are not a problem for this car. Sweeping bends, not a problem. Cambers, nothing bothers this car. It will just continue to plough on right the way up to 204 miles an hour, which again just proves it is the fastest Bentley ever made. This is just, oh, it's just beautiful. I mean, you can tell this is something truly special, and with a £177,000 price tag, it would need to be. This is a one-bedroom flame, Wandsworth expensive. This is not cheap. The stereo system in this car, the Niam audio that we've got as an upgrade on this car, is actually nearly £5,000. The reversing camera that tells you if you're about to damage the back of your £177,000 car is £800. Bentley aren't giving you anything that you aren't paying for, and the reason being is that all adds weight. The reason for removing the back seats is so you can't throw two fat friends in it and show off, thus keeping the car light. The reason for the bucket seats being so small: no fat Americans are going to be driving this car anytime soon, not unless they want their hips to still be functioning after they've finished. As you can hear, it is a beast of an engine. If you put your foot down in this car, it moves. All 620 horses come out to play. It's now, well, it always was, but now they've redefined the four-wheel drive system of the car, so it's now 60-40 rear biased, which means when you do put your foot down, all four wheels kick into action to ensure that you don't just shred your tyres, because it is so powerful. You can wheel spin this car at 35 miles an hour simply by putting your foot to the floor. And that's in drive, that's without even putting it in sport. This is the first car Bentley have ever produced where it will run on biofuel. So it's actually fairly economical when you're running it on eco-fuel. When you're not, it absolutely drinks fuel, and it is a very thirsty car. It's also not cheap to fill up. You're looking at about £130 at today's prices. So, would I buy one? For the sheer overall beauty of this car, from the fact that it stands out from every other Bentley on the road. Now that could have something to do with the fantastic paint job that Bentley have put on this press car, which means that it's actually matte silver. Doesn't matter where the light hits it, this car always looks matte. It could be because of its huge black wheels or its massive bonnet vents that are now needed to keep that huge upgraded engine and twin turbochargers cool enough to stop the car from just bursting into flames. I'm obviously only joking, they don't burst into flames, but you get my idea. This is, as standard, a huge engine to keep cool. No, I wouldn't, because ultimately I'd buy this car to stand out in a crowd. I'd buy this car to stand out on the road, but I do a lot of long mileage, and these seats are far too uncomfortable for me for 2.5 hours down to London. However, I would buy the speed, and if I've got that much money I can afford to buy, insure and run a speed, I'd buy me one of these for at the weekend when I'm not going to London.